I have to hand it to Google for announcing their phones early this year again, but I hate relying on rumors to truly learn about them. Because yes, we have new disappointing information about the cameras of the Pixel 7 lineup, depending on how you look at it. If you thought we were getting a couple of revamps with the S23 Ultra's camera, I'd say you gotta think again, and if you were wondering why Apple is taking so long to launch the Mac Pro, we might have a reason why, along with some tidbits on the Mini. I'm Jaime Rivera, and seriously, why do you think Google announces things early and then provides no true details until later that year? Let us know in the comments. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today still aren't there, so let's start with Samsung and a new teaser for the next Unpacked event. We're just, 2 weeks away from it, and the company promised to release the usual set of teasers, but tipsters decided to take matters into their own hands, as they usually do, and leaked a new video, or a couple of videos actually, where we can see the phrase "flex is greater than flat." The same video also shows the silhouette of both the Flip and the Fold 4, but if you blink, you'll miss it, so here's a screenshot of the clip. Finally, the video ends with the side of the Flip 4 that forms a greater than sign that sits between next Galaxy and phones now. It's pretty clear that Samsung is betting a lot on foldables to become mainstream in the future, but again, as long as prices stay the same, people won't be willing to pay that much to try a foldable phone. And just to wrap it up, we have new renders that showcase what seems to be the final design of the Flip 4, which looks exactly like its predecessor, even if the leaks of the larger outer display are hard to confirm with the renders. Moving on, let's talk about Apple and new information about their upcoming Mac lineup, which we're still waiting on. So far, your guess is as good as mine as to when we're getting the new Mac Pro and the updated Mac Mini that's been rumored, and a possible 32-inch iMac. According to a new report by Mark Gurman, though, Cupertino actually has had the M2 Mac Pro ready to ship and launched to customers for months now. If you're wondering why it hasn't, well, Gurman said that the company had originally planned to launch the M2 Mac Pro at WWDC. However, they decided to wait for the launch of the M2 Extreme that could be announced later this year and will power that computer. Gurman predicts that this Extreme chip and that new Mac Pro will be announced sometime during the fall, but we'll have to wait for it to launch until early 2023, which is odd for Apple to do that. Obviously, the consolation could be the new Mac Mini, given how powerful this new M2 chip is and the rumors of the new design, but it seems that's not going to necessarily be the case. Contrary to everything we've heard, Gurman stated that we shouldn't expect a new Mac Mini, since that recently launched Mac Studio is pretty similar, meaning that if we do end up getting something, that would probably be just a minor spec bump with an M2 chip, and that will be it. And sadly, still no news on that larger iMac. Going back to Samsung, we have some meh news about the Galaxy S23 Ultra's camera department. A few months ago, we had a report claiming that the S23 and S23 Plus will come with the same telephoto cameras as the S22 series, but now we have new information about the Ultra, which will apparently keep the same periscopic zoom lens with 10 megapixel resolution, resulting in pretty much the same basic specs we had with the S21 and S22 Ultra. Pretty much the only possibility left is for quality improvements, which could come with the chip, as there is still room for improvement, and we'll probably see some update with the other telephoto, as we've seen with other past generations, but we'll see how that ends. And also, there are many rumors about big upgrades for the main sensor, which will reportedly go from 108 megapixels to 200 megapixels, probably that new HP1 Samsung sensor announced recently, even if it's not usually the case for Samsung to launch their new cameras sensors with their own phones. We're still 6 months away, so we'll see. And finally, for the most interesting news today, because I do debate calling this hot, let's talk about Google and some updates on the next generation of Pixels. And I'm not actually talking about the phones here. It's funny how still at this point we have to depend on leaks to get all the information Google already announced. Obviously, the Pixel 6 series was the first time in years Google made substantial changes to the camera department, but it seems that formula will go back to not changing for a bit, or at least not substantially. I mean, thanks to some new information found in code, we have a new report claiming that we should expect some changes, but not true upgrades. For starters, both models will bring the Samsung 3J1 as the front-facing camera sensor, making them able to take 11-megapixel selfie photos, and I know, for Google, that's never been a problem, but again, something that's not really major here. The main sensor will still be the Samsung GN1 paired with Sony's IMX381 for the ultra-wide, but the telephoto is where things will sort of change. Apparently, we're getting Samsung's GM1 replacing the IMX586 that Sony had provided last year. We also got information on the tablet, but I doubt you're going to care. We hear a Sony IMX355 is coming on both sides of the tablet, which is pretty low quality, but then that pretty much gives us a hint that that's what we could expect from this tablet. It'll just be affordable. So anyways, for today's question, let us know, if Google is not bringing major updates to the Pixel 7 series when it comes to the camera, would you upgrade? Because honestly, this sounds so iterative that it doesn't sound like a good idea, but that's just me. If anything, I don't think I would mind Google sticking with the same formula, but the company should really work on bringing this phone to more markets because the price tag is pretty aggressive for what you're getting, but that's just me. Leave us a comment down below, we'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me. I mean, yesterday we had a dog pound next to us, and now it's like raining like cats and dogs. But anyways, please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.